So cordyceps is the main one that people talk about for physical benefit. I think what I've read is that it allows your blood to carry more oxygen. And I think that one really does work. And I've heard that if you're just like exercising normally, it's not really going to do anything. But if you're really exerting yourself, then it'll give you some extra oxygen carrying ability. A lot of people kind of think that it's sort of a stimulant. I haven't really noticed that, but I haven't tried cordyceps a whole lot. And there's a lot of different species of cordyceps that people take.
Psychedelics, it's like putting, yourself on steroids. It's like maybe all I want to do in my life is climb Mount Everest. And I'm working really hard, I'm training. I'm going to climb Mount Everest. Well, guess what? Inject yourself or consume in some route of administration some psychedelics, and it's going to jet you off, and you're going to be like, whoa, I was never meant to hike Mount Everest. I'm already on the top.
Couple different kinds of psychedelic mushrooms. You have the psilocybin mushrooms, and there's about 200 known species of those. And then you have amanitas, like the Amanita muscaria group, and there's maybe 50 of those. So those all have a chemical called muscimol, which is very different in chemical structure to the psilocybin mushrooms. And that's pretty much about it. There's a couple other pretty obscure ones that have, really minor effects, but those are the main ones. And the muscimol is not too pleasant for a lot of people, so they're not banned in very many places yet. And they maybe have some therapeutic potential, but not nearly as much as the tryptamines and the psilocybin mushrooms. So the muscimol interacts with the GABA system in your brain, which alcohol also does. So it's much more of kind of a drunk feeling. And I've taken them a few times. Usually I'll just cook them up, fry them in butter, and they're really delicious. But then, a couple hours later, I feel like I drank a couple beers. And it definitely feels something, but it also makes me very sleepy. And it's usually not too pleasant. If you eat a whole lot, you get some pretty strong effects, and they can be real unpleasant, or perhaps slightly pleasant for some people. Everybody that's into mushrooms, they all try them once, but not very many people eat them a whole lot of times. They're just not nearly as pleasant. You don't get the colorful insights. You don't get the sort of breakthroughs that you get on psilocybin. They don't have the same antidepressant effects. So for the muscimol mushrooms, if I had insomnia, I might take more Amanita muscaria because they really make me very sleepy. And they might help with some other neurological disorders. There's not been very much research, but they don't have the dramatic effects that psilocybin does as far as the hallucinations, the antidepressant effects, the effects where it makes people not feel like they need to continue their addictions.